Ethiopian Airlines will resume flying the 737 MAX after the March 2019 air disaster. You'll remember that Flight 302 from Addis Ababa went down 6 minutes after takeoff. It was followed by another crash the following month. This was in Indonesia. Now, Ethiopian Airlines says it has followed safety protocols as observed in the United States and China. Joining us now to make sense of these developments is Phuthego Mojapele. He is an aviation analyst. Mr. Mojapele, thank you very much for making time to come through to studio. I want to start off with the disaster that occurred in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian Airlines. A loss of passengers, flight crew, including its youngest captain. I've got to say that it must have been a traumatic experience for this company, Ethiopian Airlines. In your view, how does a company, including potential passengers, regain trust after such a disaster?
Thank you, Polly. It is indeed, any incident like that, it is take a little bit of a strain in all the affected parties, families, the airline concerns, and the crew members that work for that particular airline. They usually go through this little bit of emotions that comes out of that. But the reputation of Ethiopian Airlines or Airways, they seems to have managed to be saved by the incident prior to the ET 302, because prior to that, remember, there was a Lion Air with the same MCAS system that malfunctioned, and that actually helped them substantially a lot, because indeed it wasn't anything that has to do with the airline concern, but it was the manufacturer or the airplane itself that was having a problem, because eventually it was grounded around the world.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Boeing, the company that built these aircraft. Let's focus the attention for the moment around the workers, the employees of Ethiopian Airlines. In a statement ahead of the resumption of these flights today, they basically spoke about their state of readiness, and to use their words, and they said they were fully prepared to use these jets again. Is that enough to move past the experience, and couple that with the question around compensation for the victims' families?
Yeah. So the prelim report that was released just after the incident happened, because the final report has not been released, as we know. As soon as the final report comes out, we would then know exactly what the problem was. But let me just deal with the issues of the crew readiness in terms of flying this MAX series. The Boeing company made a concerted effort when they started grounding or leading towards the recertification of the airplane to fly. They made a concerted effort and create a training program for Ethiopian crew in Addis, meaning that they went through a vigorous training specifically on the issue of the software, which is the MCAS system that led the airplane to go down.
Yeah.
And so they made sure that they provided enough training. So as far as readiness is concerned, I believe that the ET did very well in terms of equipping, together with the Boeing company, providing that support, and FAA as well, recommending the training manuals for them, what they should do. So that has been taken care of. But with regard to the compensation, that obviously it's not just the Ethiopians themselves, but there's many other nationalities that were there, and I think that issue Boeing had to deal with it, because it clearly was the issue with an aircraft.
And you mentioned that the report is not out, although the investigations on the face of it, they do appear to have been concluded. I want then to ask the question around them accepting responsibility. Have they taken full responsibility and accepted that it was indeed as a result of what you have said, which is the MCAS system. It's called the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System. This is the element that was found to have been faulty. Was that the very same system that led to the flight in Indonesia going down? And has the company taken full responsibility?
Look, there was an inquiry that the U.S. government has instituted immediately after the grounding of all these 737 MAX. So in that inquiry, it was a special inquiry. It has never happened in the world where you have an inquiry that is being instituted by the country from the senator's house, instituting that. Now, it was quite clear that the MCAS was the problem in terms of bringing these incidents or these planes down. So whether they are accepting that, in terms of liability, loss of life, and so on, I mean, that's the matter that is going to be tested before court. But it was clear on that inquiry that the MCAS system was a problem. So Boeing had to deal with it at their own time. It's a matter of course. I'm sure they will definitely protest it in some way. But accepting as to whether they are taking full responsibility, I'm sure you would want not to do that for the purpose of reputation and going forward. I don't think they will accept it. All manufacturers does that. They will always find something bad
going to be claimed from the company.
And loss of orders of the airplanes, loss of business.
Reputational damage.
Reputational damage. So they would not ordinarily accept it. It will take a bit of time for them to, they will fight. They will not just take it as it is, but eventually, as the state has instituted a commission or an inquiry into looking into the MCAS system, clearly, U.S. government was concerned about that.
Phuthego Mojapele, an aviation analyst, thank you very much for making time to come sit with us here and make sense of this for us. So the Ethiopian Airlines taking to the skies once again after, I think it was a near 3-year grounding of this particular aircraft that is manufactured by Boeing.